Oh God, why did I do this? Long ago, there was whispers of an underground kingdom. This place where craftsmen would test their skill, historians always found something new to study, and armies would march just to bow their heads in respect. These whispers were supported by people who always talked about what it was like inside before the darkening. Oh shit, there was more of that sentence. Fuck. Before the darkening of the forge, my bad. Yeah, always have that one mistake right in the start. Shut up. The darkening of the forge, an event that caused the walls of metal to burn and give the legend the name, the Burnt Forge. Name drop.
What the fuck is that?
Shut up. The ones that say they were there talk about amalgamations that came up from the ground and tore apart anyone they found, led by a dark figure looming just out of the people's sight. Some believe them, others did not. However, legends are what drive people in dark times. Now inquire you to set out to find the Burnt Forge and rekindle it to give people hope in their darkest of hours. So,
I'll give it an 8.
Relight the bonfire, chosen undead.
no one would notice that.
Oh, we noticed as soon as you said Kindle.
Yep.
Shut up. All right. So, anyone, reason or another, has been captured by a band of a small army called the Iron Walls. The Iron Walls, one of their more high security prisons, deeming you all to be important and more or less a danger to society. So, by doing this, with your own personal reasons of going to said prison, that little red square is where the prison is, just off the western coast. The area around the forge, as you're all coming in. Not the forge, the prison, as you're all coming in, is lush. It's green. It has numerous very pretty looking mountains. The best way I can describe it is if you've ever seen like the little pictures of the good parts of Pakistan. Couple lakes here and there. Yeah, seriously, the place is freaking beautiful. Some lakes here and there. As you all are being led in, there is a man who looks how you would think a normal warden would look. You know, he's a little more regal and noble than the rest of you. He doesn't exactly talk to you as he's just looking at you as you're being led down into the lower levels of the prison. One by one, you all file in, and we are going to start as all of you are in here, except I have to drag you into your respective cell. You are not all in here immediately. You're being dragged in one by one. So, person in the cage is Skahum. You were tried for your own reason. That, if you wish to disclose it, you can now, along with describing your character, if you would.
Okay. Well, I'm in here for helping Trox, which I'll leave him up to talk about the rest of that if he wants. I'm a red dragonborn. Just have normal scales, wearing leather clothing. Probably disarmed since I'm in a jail, so just holding onto the bars and looking angry.
All of your weapons are all of your weapons and gadgets, along with any magical items you do have been confiscated upon entering the prison. However, your clothes are still there.
Does that include armor?
No.
Yes.
It does? Okay, good.
Yeah, you have like if you're wearing chainmail, you're still wearing chainmail, but at the same time, you're really nothing else you can really do unless you wish to fist fight fully armed and dangerous guards.
I was gonna say, how are we tied up?
That's good. I want that.
Like, are we being let in? Like, are our wrists bound?
As you walk in, and your wrists are in a very peculiar position, as your right hand is lower than your left, kind of like, and the bottom palms of your hands are bound together by what looks to be fiery band. It's it's fire wrapped around your wrists, but it doesn't burn you. However, if you ever try to struggle against them, you find a very searing hot pain.
Okay.
Are led into your cells. The chains, however, dissipate, leaving you in your own cell. As you grab the bars, though, you notice that there again is that searing hot pain. As grabbing hold of the bars, you all will instinctively notice. Get the fuck back in your cell. That fire enchanted. Yes, I know that you can simply walk out of your cell because I did not know how to make it to where you can't and still be able to see outside of said cells. So, shut up.
Be a good player.
Be a good little player and stay in your respective corner.
Hold on, do you
until
not
you
remember the
I don't
plate
know
of
what you're talking
Find? He's not a
don't
good
know what-
player.
Don't you bring that up. Look at that. Look. Go on with the story.
Should I drag
didn't
my
do
character down, or?
your character is right there, Grim. Go, Grim.
Everything's blank. I can't see anything.
Select this token and make sure it has checked half sight.
That? Oh, I thought we had another blind character.
I have
Oh,
blind
boy.
sight, not totally blind.
Fuck, hang on.
Who is this beside me?
The red person?
Yeah.
Wait.
Me. I'm Skahoon.
Okay, I see myself, but I see nothing.
Oops.
Just myself.
Go onto the page settings and check global illumination.
Okay, now I can see things.
Okay. Wow, I just pressed shift like the push to talk. Anyways, so yeah. And is that the end of your
Oh, God.
intro?
Robot
Yes,
God.
all
you're
robot.
lagging out.
Not the DM. No.
I'm done. Pass it off to whoever.
Well, how tall are you? To get a scale for the character, how tall are you?
Skahoon is
No.
like 6 feet tall.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
All right. So, Skahoom, as you are placed in your cell, a day or so goes by as you witness through your little bars the guards escorting in a snake. Oddly enough, and they throw said snake into the cell next to you.
Hmm.
If you how do you pronounce your name?
How do you think?
Kashyyyk.
Oh,
That.
Kashyyyk. Okay, Kashyyyk. God damn it, Kashyyyk. If you would wish to disclose why you're here and your appearance, please do so now.
I don't know why I'm here. And I'm blue. Apparently.
Just like Skyrim.
Yes.
How tall are you then?
17 feet
What?
in full length.
Oh yeah, you're a snake. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Both of you, again, a day or so goes by as
Oh shit.
He's going.
How far apart are these bars?
you're not able
Would
to
I be
squeeze
able
through.
to? Oh, damn. Okay, continue.
You can just barely fit your tail in, but again, as you come in contact with said bars, you feel a very painful burning sensation, as the bars are a fire enchanted to keep any possible people from trying to reach out.
Oh, you know me too well.
Again, a couple days go by as another two prisoners actually are brought in side by side today. One is thrown into a cell across from you two, and the other one is thrown in next to you. We're gonna go with Evelyn, how and disclose what reason you may be here for.
Do you mean Evian?
Evian.
Close enough. Okay.
We'll get it eventually.
Don't worry, I'm the worst. Trust.
Well, you will see that Evian is a little bit on the naive side, wide-eyed, and slightly scared. But she tried to help. She tried to help a commoner who was against. I guess who was against. Who tried to. She's trying to fight some insecurity anyway. Insecurity? What? Sorry. Jesus. Let's try again. I was not prepared for this, as you can all hear. Okay. Evian took the side of some commoner against a noble, and therefore she got arrested for actually attacking that noble person. So she was brought here. And she has no idea what happened to that commoner, neither to that noble person. But she really looks, yeah, yeah. She really looks scared, and you know that's it. Scared and lost, basically.
How old is she?
She's quite young. She's 22, 23. Can I try to identify what that thing around my wrist is and what the thing on the not identifying like an arcana check for something for the bars? What kind of magic that holds us here is?
It's fire magic.
God. We'll let you do those rolls here in a second. Once we get through the other two little intros real fast.
Okay.
Do the Arcana roll for the bars, but like I said, as you are thrown into the cell and the bars close, things around your wrists do disappear. Speaking of the commoner that was assaulting the noble, he's nowhere to be found. As we go now over to Garoon, you were brought in with the human, and respectively, you were placed inside of your cell.
Get Geiger trucks. Damn it, trucks.
Suddenly, a minute. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no. If you would like to disclose your reason of being here and your appearance, please do so now.
All right. Well, you guys probably noticed me when you saw them bringing in what I imagine would be a big jar filled with some sort of gray liquid.
Oh.
Yep. Threw the jar in the cell, and out comes the Jelly Man. Specifically, it was Ken.
Okay.
Now, here's what happened. I was minding my own business. I was in a forest, doing engineer stuff, minding my own business. Some guys come to me asking, "Hey, do you know where we are?" I was like, "Sure, man, I make maps on the side, like I'll sell you this map." So I get some. So I gladly give them the map, and then all of a sudden these guys come out, accusing me of treason or something, saying that I'm giving the enemy information. Next thing I know, they stuff me in a jar. All my stuff's gone, and now I'm here. I'm pretty damn upset about it.
All right. Is that it? Or do you have any more?
Now that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, guess I'm 6'2" and a gray oozkin. I also don't have eyes.
Yeah,
or mouth.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Anyways, as all four of you are in your respective cells, if you choose to talk, you chose to talk. But at the moment, a day or so goes by, and it rolls around. Immediately, sounds of heavy chains and growls, followed by some roars here and there, as through the tight corridor that you all managed to fit through, no problem. A giant minotaur comes barely squeezing through, and dragged by two beings. They look exactly like the ones who are guarding your cells at the moment. along with being escorted by two mages, who, upon looking at them, you notice they're different. They have geo and like magma running down their arms. It's weird, but they do appear human. They kind of, and they do some odd spells here and there. And you notice a Minotaur heavily bound and chained in his own cell, free to move about 5 feet from his chained position. Trox, if you wish to, while you're here and your appearance, you can.
Trox is big. Alright, so Trox is 10 foot tall, pretty beefy looking. He has some pretty fine gold. I'm trying to think of the thing that goes around your arm.
Armlet.
Armlet. He has some fine golden armlets and loincloth, which does seem to be of some kind of fine material. As he is put into the cage and the door closes behind him, he moves as much as he can towards the bars and starts ramming his head up against it repeatedly. He is here because, well, he was a slave for some time, and whenever an assassin came to kill his master, well, he broke free of his bonds and assisted in the murder.
Oh.
Which, Skahum, as this giant Minotaur, to that here in a second, Khajiit. As you see this Minotaur being dragged in, you give me a history check. Game, let's make it a good one.
Uh-huh.
Yes. You plainly remember that giant Minotaur that helped you in that assassination. You don't remember the name of the target or anything else really, but you do remember this Minotaur, as he is a very hard thing to forget. We'll get and Trox, give me a perception with small advantage.
Trox doesn't see through the headbanging.
Yes. However, through your own smelling vices, you can pick out a very slightly familiar scent. That's about it. You don't remember where the scent is or exactly it is, but you do recognize this scent. Khajiit, as you reach your tail out as far as you can, you get it about a foot out before
How far?
about a foot.
Damn it.
Before you just are feeling that very burning sensation. You don't take any damage, as it's meant to keep you in. If you were to try to go any further, however, you would start taking damage. As you're all doing your own little respective things, after Trox has been fully enclosed in his little cage, the mages walk back down the hallway, and you hear footsteps coming up. And through the door walks a sight. You don't recognize this man, but he seems to be walking with a slight purpose. And he looks around at the cells and at you, and you don't really see anything through his helmet. He kind of... Welcome, my domain. While you are here, you will be locked away in your cells. There is no... There will be one meal a day, and more importantly, any attempts at escaping will be met with a swift execution. Enjoyed your last bit of sunlight before today. you'll ever see. And looks over the entirety of. Did I cut out?
Yes.
A bit.
Yep.
Very
I think
short.
I got the gist of what you said.
Yes.
Yeah. Long story short, he just basically tells you there's no hope of escaping. And I do apologize. God damn! All that epic little talking I did, and it was just. dead
Hey,
silent.
we only missed
Yeah.
like 2 words. It wasn't
Yeah,
too bad.
it's not barely. It was okay.
Loudest you'll ever see. But anyways, he kind of just looks over the cells once again. See, he does stand there for a little bit more as he's waiting to see if anyone will pipe up,
Oh,
so that way he could possibly smash your dreams.
Shark's just repeatedly, well, as he's talking, it's like increased vigor of ramming his horns up against the cell.
I thought the cell burned.
He doesn't
You
really
think he
care.
cares?
He doesn't really care. But you do all faintly hear as after each successful wham, you hear as he is slowly being singed as each hit. So it basically sounds like someone is hitting like a burner with a wet frying pan constantly, like wham. Yeah.
Does it
Trox,
smell like? Does it smell like beef cooking or something?
you after about 2 or 3 hours of this repeated head hitting, and now the warden is continuing to just sit there and stare at Trox. You don't get a gauge on if he's smiling or anything, but he does seem slightly amused as he's very interested in Trox's attempts.
Trox.
After the 2 hours, you do get a slight smell thing from the area. The warden kind of crosses his arms and walks back down the hallway, disappearing down the hallway as the door is shut and locked.
It's a long shot, but maybe there's someone else who was caught here. I want to look around for Thieves' Cant in this cell.
Give me a perception. I'm going to use the... and I'm going to say, as you take a fine look around your cell, it's oddly clean for a cell. However, you do see there is a small stone that's seemingly out of place. Up in the little corner here, let me just drop a little square. Hang on. Right about in your cell. It's just kind of sitting there. Just like I said, compared to everyone else's cells, it seems a little out of place.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to see what I know about this magic now, and if there's any way that
Us.
Yeah. You know that this is a very complex fire incantation. As you kind of look at it and study it more and more, you get the gist that this is a concentration. Someone in the general vicinity or in the small little multiplex of the prison that you're in is keeping these bars enchanted. That's about it, really. There's not much else about them that you can really find, other than the fact that there's small runes and they're glowing red that gives it off the fire thing.
okay, I am going to. There's no other. Wait, there are guards in front of us, right? Are those things guards?
Yes, those are guards.
Okay.
However, their backs are turned to you. There's no sign. They just kind of have their arms crossed and staring completely straight.
Okay.
Question: Are there like is there like a key? No, what am I thinking of? A keyhole for the cells?
Please.
Are there keyholes in the cells?
Wait, I just remembered something.
So how
Hold on.
Give me that
That's fine.
back. Wait a minute.
Anyways, like I was going to say before, as you guys do notice that the guard, as you are looking at the guards, Trucks, are you still hitting your head against the bars?
Yep.
I am sorry about that. Can you please repeat everything you said?
I was
He
just
just
asking
asked
Trucks if
Trucks
he's
if
still
he
hitting
was
his head. As you are, as you kind of glance, as you glance over at the guards, the guard that's standing in front of Trucks' cell is completely unfazed to the fact that this giant creature is just hitting its head behind him on the bars.
All right, now I wanted to ask. Let me ask something. Are there, with the locks on trucks, are there like key lock pads? You know, something that keeps
How
the
do you
chains
get in a
together.
cell?
Give me a perception with disadvantage as your cybernetic eyes were confiscated.
Well, I have blind vision, so I can. All right, fair enough. Oh boy!
Klaus,
Wow.
would blind vision actually allow him to see that? Or
Yes, blindside.
I don't remember how blind vision.
Blindside, unless it was actually something that is blocking between him and something, then he pretty much automatically sees it. It's like having normal sight, just, he can't tell, like, colors or anything with it. And he can also see around corners, which is an important thing.
Roll it again. No disadvantage or advantage. Just roll it one more time.
Okay. Perception.
Oh.
16. As you look over the bars, the runes, as you do get closer, some of the runes do light up, but as you kind of examine over the areas where you think there would be a lock, you don't see one. And as you look over on the other side, you don't see any bars. As you look up and down where the bars connect to the ceiling and the floor, you do realize that the bars are a little small for the holes, suggesting that there may be a contraption of some sort that lets the bars go up or down.
Okay.
And
Now-
as you're looking over Trox, he kind of turns to you a little bit. Food! And starts ramming his head up against the bars between you and him.
Oh no.
It's like I'm not food. Calm down.
Actually, yeah, everyone except Trox, give me a basic perception. And this is for this next little part. Trox, since you are more concerned with banging your head against the bars, 1, 2, you don't exactly hear anything. However, Evelyn, how do you pronounce it?
Evian.
Dion.
Should I
my
change
bad.
it? Should I make it Mary?
It's fine.
We'll get it
Evian and
eventually.
Khajiit. Evian and Khajiit, you guys hear a small explosion. Not too loud, but it is controlled. Groom and Skahum, you don't notice anything as you're too concerned with the Minotaur, who is completely focused on these bars now at this point.
Well, he's focused on trying to eat me, so yeah, that's my concern right now.
He is about 5 feet. He is a distance away from the bars. That is just as close as I could get them to standing in guard position. Skahum, as you're staring at this spectacle of this giant creature hitting his head on the door, your attention suddenly shoots over from him to in front of your cage, suddenly getting hit directly with a door as as it is completely blown off its hinges. And Skoom, as you look over, well, Khajiit, you could also see this too. As you look over, and there's 4 uncharacteristic people just standing there. They don't. The one in front is heavily armored. He is wielding a giant hammer in both of his hands. The one next to him is an archer. His bow is drawn and ready, as the 2 dogs, 2 up at the top here, suddenly spring to life, and as they start to charge, they are both met with arrows, barely even seeming like they have lost anything. And as this happens, you notice as bars are planted.
You're gonna want to repeat that again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear either.
Bars are just bars now. They're not enchanted. Trux, you bang your head against this bar one more time, and suddenly the bars bend. They weren't doing this. They suddenly bend.
Suspense.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
he
can
said
hear you
that the
now.
bar was bent.
Yeah.
And the guard in front of your cell looks at you, Trux, and suddenly he's now fearful.